All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the November 10th, 2025 meeting of the Sacramento Regional Transit Board of Directors. Tabitha, would you please do a roll call and then read the Metro Cable replay statement?
Director Burr.
Here.
Director Budge.
Here.
Director Dickinson is absent. Director Hume is absent. Director Kennedy. Here. Director Maple is absent. Director Rorba.
Here.
Director Schaefer.
Here.
And Director Rodriguez.
Here.
Director Rodriguez is here as alternate for Director Cerna this evening. And Director Jennings is absent, and Chair Singh Allen.
Here. Director Hume is present.
Director. With that, we have a quorum of 8 votes, and this meeting of the Sacramento Regional Transit District is recorded with closed captioning. The recording will be cablecast on Metro Cable Channel 14, the local government affairs channel, on the Comcast and DirecTV UVerse cable systems. The recording will also be video streamed at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting replays Saturday, November 15th at 2 p.m. and Sunday, November 16th at 11:30 a.m. on Metro Cable Channel 14. Once posted, the recording of this meeting can be viewed on demand at youtube.com/Metro Cable 14. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should fill out a speaker card located at the rear of the room and provide it to myself or Adam. Once the item has been called, additional speaker cards will not be accepted. The time allowed for public comment is at the chair's discretion. The timer will chime when you have 20 seconds and then again when your time is up. There were 2 written public comments received and provided to the board, one from Rick Hodgkins for item 5 regarding light rail safety and item 7.1 regarding comprehensive analysis and a sales tax measure, and then a second comment from Helen O'Connell on item 4.1 regarding the action summary.
All right. Thank you. Next up is our Pledge of Allegiance. May I ask Director Hume to please help lead us?
Sure. Address the flag, please. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So we're going to go a little out of order on the agenda, and we're going to take item 3.1 first. And item 3.1 is our employee and retiree recognitions, second and third quarters 2025.
And Shelley Valentin will present this item.
Thank you. Good afternoon, board and everyone. I am Shelley Valentin, Sacraty's Deputy CEO, and I am honored to present to you today our employee recognitions. Today we are recognizing 2 quarters, April to June and July to September. That's why you see some employees here with us today and some family members. Quite an exciting time. Let's have our slide up. Okay, so we want to start with our years of service recognition. We acknowledge our active employees who have dedicated 20 years or more of service to SAC-RT. Please give them a round of applause. Could you move to the next slide so we could see our list of employees? Thank you. All right, so you see here a list of 20 years, 25 years, and 35 years of service awardees. And today we have 3 of them who took the time to be here, so we'll take the time to recognize them. If we could please have Vice Chair Singh Allen and Henry, our GM, come up to the center, and we'll have a picture and a certificate distributed to our awardees. First up, when I call your name, if you could please come forward and join them. Ariel Tabo, Light Rail Maintenance Mechanic A, 20 years of service. Yes, thank you. And then we have Stephen McGlurg, Bus Operator, 25 years. Please come on up. And finally, we have Aswa Hanson, Transportation Supervisor, 25 years. And we'll take a quick group picture.
Shelley, I hate to interrupt, but someone from my team is on the list and they're here tonight.
Oh.
Melissa Noble.
Anyone
Yeah.
who's here who's not on the list of RSVPs? We had an RSVP, and I have the list. Please come on up, Melissa Noble. 20 years, I believe. Thank you. And there's one more. Jesus Ledesma, 31 years. Oh, you're actually on our retiree list, I believe, but am I wrong on that? Please. Yes. We will get them. I'm sorry. We are sending it to everyone.
You guys all got it. We didn't touch it.
You guys all want
We didn't touch it.
Yes, I guarantee you, if we had touched it, you'd be sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Thank you. If you could please stay,
No.
Director Singh, Allen, and Henry, for the retiree recognition. Okay, our retiree recognition, 20 years or more of service to SACRT. We want to thank them for their dedicated service. And we especially want to thank those who joined us tonight who took the time out of their retirement to be here. First on my list, if you could move to the next slide, Adam. Please give them all a round of applause. And then we want to thank everyone who are here with us tonight. First is Fernando Zamudio, light rail vehicle technician for 21 years.
We could do to make the world easier.
And then Christopher Espera, bus operator, 22 years. And Neil Kell, bus operator, 22 years. And then we have Ami Chand, light rail operator, 27 years. And then finally, Jesus Ledesma, bus maintenance mechanic, 31 years. Did we miss anyone who's here too? Just to make sure, retirees. Perfect, all right. Congratulations. You may take your seat. And we'd like Henry and Director Singh Allen to stay for our final set of recognitions, our employees of the quarter. So again, this is for 2 quarters. This program recognizes employees who consistently demonstrate exceptional performance, embody our core values, and make a meaningful impact on both the workplace and the communities that we serve. We are proud to have so many employees who just do a great job every day. So this award is separate because we recognize specific recognitions and contribution for those quarters. Here are our employees of the quarter for the period April to June 2025, starting with administration. We have Esteban Gonzalez, Training and Workforce Development Analyst. So let me just say a few words about Esteban. So our Training and Workforce Development Department is a strong and mighty team of 2. We have Esteban and Isis, who's his manager. We know that our employees need and use their services because our employee survey tells us so. During this quarter, he was instrumental in the success of our first ever employee resource fair, connecting employees with local community colleges, universities, and trade schools to explore educational opportunities. Esteban has only been with us for 3 years, but in this short time, he has already conducted 65 trainings on his own for over 600 employees, supported 295 trainings, workshops, and employee events, resulting in more than 2,500 meaningful employee interactions. I don't think he takes a day off because that's a lot of things. We are proud to recognize him today. Congratulations, Esteban. And then our customer service employee of the quarter, will be presented by Lisa Hines.
It's an honor to recognize Transit Ambassador Quintez Dobson for Employee of the Quarter.
We'd also like to invite his family to join. I see that he has family members here.
Since joining Sacramento Regional Transit on January 16th, Quintez, known to all of us simply as Q, has embodied the very core values that define SAC-RT: dedication, professionalism, and exceptional customer service. In his short time here, Q has made a lasting impression through his strong work ethic and commitment to excellence. Whether he's assisting passengers at a light rail station, supporting our fleet operations, or collaborating with coworkers in the office, he approaches every challenge and training opportunity with enthusiasm and a desire to grow, consistently going above and beyond expectations. Beyond his performance, Q brings camaraderie, empathy, and positivity to the Transit Ambassador team, making him not only an outstanding employee, but also a valued teammate. Please join me in congratulating Q with Employee of the Quarter.
Congratulations. For the category of facilities and maintenance, we have Aaron Uribe, light rail vehicle technician. Unfortunately, he's not able to join tonight, but we have presented his award at the last employee town hall. And then for our next quarter, for the period July to September, we have two awardees who are here tonight. The first one is for administration, Angela Roy, to be presented by Blanca.
Okay, this quarter recognition goes to Angela Roy, one of our outstanding admin techs. This quarter, Angela has truly gone above and beyond her role. During an unexpected staff shortage, she stepped up without hesitation, taking on her own responsibilities as well as those of an absent team member. Despite the heavy workload, Angela successfully prepared and coordinated a general sign-up for more than 500 operators, a massive effort that required exceptional organization, accuracy, and communication. She made sure operations continue smoothly with no interruptions, showing the teamwork and dedication we value at SAC-RT. In addition, Angela took an extra responsibility of training temporary staff members, offering guidance, patience, and support every step of the way. Her professionalism, positive attitude, and willingness to help wherever needed make her a valuable part of our team and well-deserved recipient of this employee quarter recognition of the month. Thank you, Angela.
And finally, we have for maintenance and facilities to be presented by Lisa Hines is Pamela Robertson, facility service worker.
I'm happy to introduce Pamela Roberson, Employee of the Quarter. Pam is a shining example of excellence within our facilities management department. She is responsible for maintaining several light rail stations and has consistently demonstrated outstanding performance. In the past quarter alone, she received several perfect scores from the Mystery Rider program, an accomplishment that speaks to her high standards and dedications. And I think she was our first to do so. Pam's work environment is not without challenges, including issues with vandalisms and interactions with unhoused individuals. Yet she approaches every situation with compassion and respect, building trust and fostering a sense of community. Her presence alone often encourages others to take responsibility for keeping an area clean. Pam is known for her positive attitude, professionalism, and strong work ethic. No matter what challenges she faces, she shows up each day ready to give her best. Her commitment, resilience, and genuine care for her work make her an invaluable member of our team and a true example of excellence. Congratulations, Pam.
One more. Sorry, we just want to take a quick picture. I missed that Esteban's family is here too, so if you could take one picture with them.
He brought a lot of family.
Thank you. Congratulations to our awardees. And before I end, I just want to recognize our operator employee of the quarter, Philip James Mendoza, bus operator. He's not able to join tonight. He's driving, but we will make sure to recognize him another time. Thank you all.
All right, let's give them all an enthusiastic round of applause. That was great. Give a few seconds here. You don't want to stick around for the rest of the meeting? Good for you. Well earned. All right, next item, we're going to go back to our consent calendar items 2.1 through 2.5. Any questions from directors? No? All right, we have a motion from Director Dickinson
Second.
and a
If there are
second.
no public comments?
Oh, yes, you're right. Any public comments on?
There's no public comment on consent.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, abstain? Didn't see any? All right, thank you. All right, next up is our unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business?
No, it was just.
Customer service response and feedback and comment?
Yes, that's the next item.
Yeah.
4.1.
I can't read this.
Just waiting for the PowerPoint. Okay. Chair Singh Allen, members of the board, I am Lisa Hines, VP of Security, Safety, and Customer Satisfaction. I am presenting customer satisfaction strategies and responses to public concerns and comments. Public comment number 1, how will SAC-RT spend the $1 million security increase? The overall goal for the $1 million is to increase security staff on trains. Specifically, we're trying to aim to have one security resource on every single train. We will increase the hiring of transit ambassadors from 40 to 50. We are holding interviews this week and next, and we will have a training class starting in December and a second training class starting in January to reach and maintain our number of 50. Although we are not in negotiations currently for this classification, we wanted to provide a modest increase to the transit ambassadors. SAC-RT remains committed to safety and security, which is reflected in the budget allocated for these areas in this fiscal year's budget, as well as the addition of the $1 million. It was a fiscal decision that was not taken lightly, as it means that it will have a lasting impact on future years' budget, and we have to make budget sacrifices everywhere to make it happen. We look forward to continuing to work with our union partner and continuing to evaluate the effectiveness of this program and provide additional opportunities and improvements as funding allows. These discussions will commence as we negotiate a new bargaining contract next year. We will bridge the gap with guards while in the process of hiring new transit ambassadors. We just hired 10 additional guards. We're also adding 2 additional staff to the Security Operations Center that runs 24/7, so from 8 people to 10. These upgrades were outlined in the staff report at the October 27th board meeting, which you all voted on. We sent out a press release October 29th, 2025 regarding safety and security. As we strengthen our safety and security, it is imperative that we market updates to our employees, our riders, and our community. While recent media coverage has raised concerns about employee safety, it is important to clarify that the majority of the reported incidents involve aggressive verbal disagreements, not physical altercations. These verbal incidents are reportable statistics required by the National Transit Database. However, they are not crimes. In fact, SAC-RT's crime rate remains extremely low at just 3.7 crimes per 1 million boardings, dropping from last year's 7.5 incidents per 1 million boardings. a testament to the effectiveness of our current safety and security strategies. As SACRT continues to enforce fair payment and serve vulnerable populations, including the unhoused, which is the most pressing concern in our community, we recognize that tensions can arise from time to time. However, these efforts are working. SACRT's fare evasion rate has dropped from double digits a decade ago to less than 1% today, reflecting a more accountable and respectful transit culture. SACRT is doing everything possible to ensure its system remains safe, welcoming, and responsive for both riders and employees. Next public comment. Can you ensure that the police units will be able to respond to calls quickly? So I thought I would share what we have now and what we're transitioning to on January the 11th. Current staffing is we have 18 sworn officers and 6 armed non-sworn sheriff security officers. The new staffing model, and there will be 15 sworn deputies. We're switching to sheriff deputies as SACPD pulls out of the contract, and 8 armed sheriff security officers. The main thing you need to take away is there will be a seamless transition in police services through the changeover from SACPD to the Sacramento Sheriff's Department, taking completely over of regional transit police services. I wanted to highlight police officers are responding to certain calls moving forward, and I mentioned it last time at the board meeting. We are refocusing our sworn officers to prioritize transit ambassadors who need assistance with uncooperative subjects, operator assaults, calls related to any banned or prohibited person, any violent felonies in progress, and we have notified all local law enforcement agencies of this transition. We are working with our legal counsel on a banning program. We plan to bring this program to all of you at the next December board meeting. We will continue to request restraining orders for long-term nuisance cases, and we will work to obtain probation conditions through the court system on subjects who commit crimes on our system or at our properties. As we build a stronger workforce, we are committed to leveraging technology to strengthen safety, efficiency, and customer experience across our system. So I want to share some AI programs that we have underway. We have an AI-enabled bus stop enforcement program. It's our newest innovation. It uses automated AI monitoring at our 5 busiest bus stops. Within the first 10 months, this initiative has resulted in an 89% decrease in people parking at those bus stops, improving safety, reducing congestion, and supporting reliable transit service. Our AI drone program. We have launched an AI-driven drone program to proactively monitor critical infrastructure. The drone captures real-time data to identify potential issues early, enabling staff to take swift corrective action and prevent service disruptions before they occur. And also an AI program, we are currently working on 2 pilot programs in partnership with safety, planning, and operations. We will use forward-facing AI cameras in buses to monitor bus stop assets and conditions, including trash levels and maintenance needs, reduce customer complaints through proactive issue detection and rapid response, and provide valuable data to support bus rapid transit planning, traffic detour coordination, and operational decision-making to improve on-time performance. Together, these initiatives position us at the forefront of innovation in public transportation, using AI to enhance safety, streamline operations, and deliver an improved experience for our riders. Next public comment. An operator reported that a subject was on the train with a hammer, and the police did not respond. What happened? There was an incident where a TA on a train encountered a subject holding a hammer. The TA maintained a distance and called in for assistance. The subject holding the hammer was mentally unstable and talking loudly. The Security Operations Center observed what was happening live when they live viewed into the cameras on the train, and they dispatched police officers. At the same time, a call came in that there was a subject sleeping on another train, and an armed security officer responded to that call. It is very common to have multiple incidents being handled simultaneously, which was the case in this incident. Our TPS, our sworn police officers, responded directly to the incident, arresting the subject. The response was from a distance as the officers drove directly to intercept the train. We are in communication with our contracted deputy district attorney requesting up-to-date information about prosecution on this subject. Next public comment. Can you advise USERV that some of their drivers do not speak English, making it difficult to communicate with them? Please also share that as a result, I was dropped off at the wrong location. Even though one person made a complaint at the last board meeting, we took it seriously and acted immediately. I want to be clear, English proficiency has always been a requirement under our current contract with USERV. What we've done now is work with them to strengthen how that standard is verified and enforced. In response, USERV launched a nationwide English language screening program, which began here in Sacramento in October and will be fully implemented December 2nd. Any driver who doesn't meet reading, speaking, or comprehension standards is permanently removed from the platform. Our new request for proposal does not replace that requirement. It reaffirms and clarifies it. It also adds stronger oversight by requiring ADA and safety training and full integration with our dispatch system for real-time monitoring. These actions ensure accountability, clear communication, and a better overall rider experience. Next public comment. The bus tracker application does not inform if a bus is canceled. Can you address this? SAC-RT's bus tracker application and website both provide real-time information to help passengers stay informed. Passengers can visit sacrt.com and select the service alerts page to view current updates on route cancellations, delays, and other service disruptions in real time. For more personalized notifications, passengers can download the SAC-RT bus tracker app where they can track buses live to see where their vehicle is in real time, subscribe to their regular routes, and receive text or email alerts about service impacts, including cancellations, access a direct link to sacrt.com through each alert to view exactly what trips are affected. If a rider does not receive alerts or needs help downloading the app, they can contact our customer service team for assistance. Our customer service team can help troubleshooting alert settings and ensure passengers are subscribed correctly to receive updates. SAC-RT is committed to making sure riders have accurate, up-to-date information about their service, both through the bus tracker app and sacrt.com.
Have, not has.
Next public comment. How could the $164 million from the streetcar plan be used in a more incremental way? Our VP of Real Estate and Chief of Staff, Chris Flores, spoke with the person who made the public comment on October the 29th, and now that gentleman has a better understanding of the project. The cost providing public transportation services fall into two main categories: operating expenses and capital expenses. Like most transit agencies, SAC-RT pursues capital discretionary grant programs to fund capital expansion projects. SAC-RT has received a variety of funds to support the streetcar connector to West Sacramento, including the state TIRCP grant program and federal capital investment grant program. These funds must be spent to construct the streetcar project,
Yes, sir.
or the region would forfeit the outside investments from the feds and the state.
Lisa, I think we have a question.
I just want to add a notification from FTA on the downtown riverfront streetcar. FTA or US DOT is reviewing all the old grants, 5 years old or older. They give us direction clearly. We need to be in the construction by the end of FY26, the federal 26, which is September. And we are working very diligently with all the partners, including FTA and the state and the two cities, to make sure we will make that happen. The plan was, to be in the construction by September next year, but given the very clear direction now, we probably need to further expedite on that. I just wanted to share with the board about this new development.
Not a surprise.
Okay, next slide. Public comment. Why isn't there better bus service to James Rudder Middle School? Our planning employee emailed and called the person who made the public comment following the last board meeting. James Rudder Middle School is currently served by Route 68 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. It has a 30-minute frequency Monday through Saturday between CRC and Arden Fair, and then 1 hour frequency on Sunday. This route does not provide a direct connection from the vicinity of Elk Grove, Flowery, and Gerber Road. SAC-RT Flex does operate in the vicinity. which is a shared mobility service for seniors, disabled, low income, or low income youth 13 to 17. Staff explained that at this time, Sacramento does not have sufficient funding to increase bus service. However, we also share that during the Sacramento Board of Directors meeting on October 27th, Sacramento staff presented the results of an outreach campaign that asked what the community would want to see from Sacramento should the revenue from a sales tax of any size go to Sacramento beginning 2026. Sacramento currently receives 1/5 of 1 penny sales tax revenue, by comparison to our peers who receive 5 to 9 times more. And we will also need to identify an additional funding source to increase bus service. Next slide. Public comment. 3 operators have been cut by the new bus barriers. We checked with bus operations, safety, and risk, and no one has received any reports for operators being injured on these bus barriers. The bus operators and the union were highly supportive of these new barriers and helped select the actual barrier chosen. These barriers have been very well received by staff for the safety and security they provide. Public comment. How is homelessness being addressed? Homelessness is a nationwide issue. At Sacramento, we hired a social services practitioner, Rose Arteaga. She continues to support individuals experiencing homelessness who reside near Sacramento infrastructure or utilize our transit system. She manages a caseload of approximately 100 clients, many of whom she interacts with on a regular basis. We recently onboarded a part-time intern from Sacramento State Social Worker Program to assist Rose in her daily responsibilities and gain field experience. Together, they conduct outreach in the field, ride the trains to engage individuals experiencing homelessness. Fair assistance is provided only to clients with whom Rose has an established working relationship. This ensures accountability and adherence to Sacramento's rules and ordinances. Previously, daily ride passes were distributed at community events without verification of an individual's impact on system security and safety. This practice has been terminated. Rose and Porter deliver on-track safety training to every unhoused individual they encounter using educational materials from Operation Lifesaver. This outreach promotes rail safety and helps reduce trespassing incidents, lowering the risk of injuries to operators, passengers, and the public. Additionally, Rose collaborates with the safety department, who utilizes Forensic Clean to support the cleanup of encampments on Sacramento property every Wednesday. Lastly, as we shared during a summer board meeting, Sacramento is negotiating terms of a potential safe parking program at a portion of our Franklin Light Rail Station. Sacramento drafted a lease agreement and sent it back to the city in September. We are still awaiting any feedback or edits from city staff. Now I would like to introduce the VP of Marketing, Deborah Salinas.
Thank you, Lisa. I thought I would give Lisa a little bit of break today and provide an update on the one item related to communications, specifically our Phase 2 public outreach and sharing our story. As you heard previously, we've done a lot of great work, but a lot of people don't know about it, and that will be all included in our Phase 2 communications. And as most of you know, over the last decade, Sacramento is among the most ambitious and cutting-edge transit agencies in the nation, implementing a series of historic and transformative actions in a fiscally responsible manner. As we heard from members of the public, we need to share that story in a meaningful way using solid examples of our great work. Specifically, our story will be told in 4 pillars, as I outlined previously at the last meeting. As a reminder, the 4 pillars we will build our story on include safety and security record. Specifically, Sacramento decided nearly a decade ago, in order to attract more riders, we had to improve safety and offer riders a greater sense of security. And I know some of you were on the board at the time. And our crime rate, although Lisa stole my thunder a little bit, you saw that specifically, it's on the board, I won't read that part, but it is very low, and it's specifically very low compared to other transit agencies in the nation. To accomplish this, we doubled our security team to nearly 200 personnel and created a multi-level security network designed to prevent nuisance behavior and fare evasion that includes over 2,000 cameras and my personal favorite, the voice of God. These efforts resulted in Sacramento receiving 7 of the top national safety and security awards in recent years. Our next pillar is fiscal responsibility and trust. Almost 10 years ago, the Sacramento board and CEO Henry Lee affirmed a core commitment, putting customers first by delivering a clean, safe, and convenient transit service.
The vision launched one of the largest capital projects in our history, the Light Rail Modernization and Expansion Project, upgrading our aging 40-year-old light rail system. In many ways, it's remarkable that the project progressed as far and as fast as it has, especially since SACRT envisioned the program 9 years ago. There was absolutely no funding set aside to implement this. Within that short time, we managed to secure nearly $1 billion in funding to significantly modernize and expand our light rail system. Rolling out modern new low-floor light rail vehicles, completing platform upgrades on the Gold Line, and introducing 15-minute light rail service to Folsom area stations. Now that is a turnaround story that we want to share. SACRT has also worked hard to restore internal fiscal stability, going from being in the red a decade ago to now having a solid annual reserve, not only earning us the 2019 Good Governance Award from the Sacramento Taxpayer Association. Thank you very much, Director Schaefer, although you weren't director then, so we really appreciate it. We are happy to have you. Over the last few years, and especially not only that, we also were ranked as the most trustworthy public entity over the last few years in recent public polling. Next is community value. We heard from the public that we need to keep fares affordable for seniors, persons with disabilities, and students. And so, with our community partners, we launched the nation's most comprehensive Fare Free for Student Youth program, dramatically boosting ridership and laying the groundwork for academic and economic success for generations to come, not to mention potential new riders for the future. This program not only supports working class families by getting kids in grades TK through 12 to school, jobs, and after-school activities, it ensures schools receive funding through improved attendance, helps eliminate residential isolation, improves mental health, and it provides congestion relief by taking cars off the road for up to 320,000 eligible student families. Last year alone, there were over 5 million trips taken. That's a significant reduction in congestion, CNG. It's just an overall improvement for climate as well. Also, our fares remain affordable and flat, with no increase for the last 7 years. In fact, we implemented a 10% fare reduction in August 2018, rolling back fares for the first time in our 50-plus year history. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we might be the only transit agency to, I think, have done that at all, to even roll back fares. Aside from COVID, where it was free, they rolled back that, and then they went back to regular standard fares. When we talk about community value, I should also point out that SACRT has stepped up to help our community when they need it most, providing Wi-Fi-enabled buses during COVID to help bridge the information gap, and most recently, we are providing free rides to SNAP recipients using a free ride flyer to help them get to food distribution centers during the federal shutdown, and especially to help them save money, because if you have to make a choice between food and transportation, that's a big deal for people who aren't having SNAP benefits. And finally, we have needs. I touched on this a little bit at the last meeting, and Lisa also just stole my thunder with this as well. SACRT only receives 1/5 of a penny in local sales tax, and we do not have a dedicated transit tax, a funding source like many of our peers, such as Portland, LA, and BART, which our services are often compared to. We've asked people, a lot of in our surveys, give us an example of a great transit system, and those three are often used to compare SACRT. Local funding is critical to leverage state and federal dollars to focus on fix-it-first state of good repair priorities, which are also priorities stated by our riders and community members in recent surveys. These are just a few notable examples of the many stories SACRT will continue to share as part of our outreach moving forward. And that concludes my presentation. I'll have Blanca present as well. Thank you.
We continue with the break and letting Lisa take a quick second down there. We received a comment about cancellations on Route 81 on the past board meeting, and I want to take this time to provide an update on cancellations overall. Where we stand, how we compare to the industry, and what we are doing about it. For Route 81 specifically, we reviewed the data for September. Out of 2,476 total trips for the month, 72 were canceled, which represents roughly about 3% of the route of service on that specific route. While any cancellations affect riders, Route 81 operates every 15 minutes, so when a trip is missed, the next bus shortly after. We make these decisions intentionally to minimize passenger impact, focusing on protecting routes with longer headways, where a single cancellation could double someone's wait time. Last year, in 2024, SAC-RT averaged 1.24% in cancellations. This year, we've already brought that down to 0.66%. It's a 50% improvement. Across the industry, most large agencies range between 1 and 3%. So we're performing better than many of our peers, which shows the progress we've made so far this year. When cancellations do happen, the main causes are operator absences and increase in sick leave usage following the new state law, SB 616, which limits how employers can address excessive use of accrued sick time. This has required stronger scheduling measures and more proactive communication with staff. We've also seen seasonal patterns with when schools are back in session or during the holidays, absences tend to rise. In addition, some cancellations occur because of light rail modernization projects where we provide the bus bridge support, and we need to temporarily reassign some of those operators to do the bus bridges. To manage all of this, we're very intentional about where cancellations occur. When we must cancel, we do so on our higher frequency minute. So we pick the most frequent routes, which is usually the 81, the 51, and the Route 1. They run every 15 minutes. That way, a bus will come a lot faster if we have to cancel service on that route. Compared to the hour, we are doubling somebody's time if we're canceling only one trip. So we are intentional about which service we cancel. We also protect the the first and last trip of the routes for the day, so we can ensure that service starts and ends dependably. Through these strategies combined with our hiring efforts and attendance tracking, we've cut cancellations in half and positioned SAC-RT ahead of the industry average in reliability. And that's all for me, and now I'll pass it on to Olga Sanchez, our General Counsel.
I have I think I have the last slide. A public comment was made at the last meeting. Can you please provide Connect Card materials to the MAC before implementation and signing of contracts? There was also a statement made by the speaker that there is a policy that we provide that information to the MAC before a contract is awarded. That isn't a policy of the agency. So I just wanted to clarify that. And, you know, MAC is a very valuable advisory body for us, and we very much value their input. But as a public agency, SAC-RT must follow strict state and federal statutory and regulatory procurement requirements that largely preclude SAC-RT from obtaining input from a third party that is not part of the formal procurement selection panel during the procurement bid evaluation and selection process. So it would not be appropriate for SAC-RT to seek MAC input before making a final recommendation on award of a contract or execution of the contract. SAC-RT can and will continue to seek input from the MAC when it is legally appropriate and consistent with our statutory and regulatory procurement requirements. With regard to the question of providing a presentation or information regarding the Connect Card Tap to Pay program, we had prepared a presentation to go to the MAC last month, but they canceled the meeting, and it has been rescheduled. So we do plan to meet with the MAC on the 20th of November to go through the implementation plan for that program. So, and now I don't know if I hand it back to Lisa to close it out, or.
Are you done? All right, close it out. Thank you. All right, director questions. Looking to the left.
I don't have a question, but I just have a comment, because I do. Sorry, there we go. I am an RT user, and when you mentioned the conversation about telling your story, I think that is definitely something that can be improved, because RT there are many positive things that do happen. You have very friendly ambassadors. There are very friendly operators, and maybe sometimes shedding light on that may give people the interest to use RT as opposed to having this belief that it's unsafe. You know, I've been using it for 11 months now, and I haven't had an incident where I felt unsafe, but I think that belief is that it's out there. And so maybe shedding light on some more of those positive things that happen and the good things that RT provides our area. That's it.
Thank you. Anybody out here on the left?
No
Director
question.
Robart?
No questions, but comments as well. I just want to thank your staff. Again, they're always so quick to respond to users' complaints, and unfortunately there are complaints, but even just hearing today, making those, well, they're not little things, but making those little things big things by bringing them to the attention to the board and telling us and following up on that loop of communication and how you handled it, that helps us articulate when we get one-on-ones with people. I felt this, I'll talk a little bit more about the conference that I went with Henry, but I felt that when people heard I was from SAC RT, so I just want to thank Henry and all the staff that continues to do that, such great customer service, so I really appreciate it.
Nobody else on the left? Looking to the right. Any questions or comments? Yes, Director Dickinson.
Thanks. Thank you. I do have a question. About 12 years or so ago, Regional Transit was the beneficiary of legislation to allow excluding disruptive passengers, state legislation. And I'm curious if you can, first of all, just update us on the status of that. I assume it's still applicable. And then secondly, since I don't recall the provisions exactly of that legislation, could it be used for the disruptive passengers that engage in the verbal altercations with the transit ambassadors as a basis for exclusion from riding?
So, you're talking about Section 99170 and Section 99171 of the Public Utility Code, which provides us the authority to establish a prohibition order process. And we did not avail ourselves of that provision, but we are currently in the process of basically bringing it into our system and adopting it so that we can issue prohibition orders. The challenge with the statute is that in order for us to issue a prohibition order, we have to have an individual who is cited, for example, cited 3 times within a 90-day period, so that violating certain infractions. And you know, we have to keep track of that, and then we go through the process, and then you issue a prohibition order, and then you have to go through a whole process of, like, you have to wait 10 days for this and 10 days for that. And so I think there was a lot of frustration on the part of the folks who were going to have to monitor this, and that's why I think we didn't avail ourselves of it. But we are now in the process of doing it. I think that things have gotten worse in terms of behavior of certain people. It would be difficult, I think, to say that anybody who engages in a verbal assault of our office, of any of our operators or any of our transit ambassadors, would be prohibited, because they'd have to violate one of our policies and have a citation issued to them, and then we have to track it, and then we have to make sure that they, you know, did they get 3 citations in this 90-day period. But we're going to do our best to do what we can to cite people and effectively track this, so that we can prohibit as many people as we can who are engaging in this very bad behavior. It's just a few people, but they create problems and they make people feel unsafe.
Well, I appreciate the challenges, and of course there was a balancing in the legislation of trying to keep riders and transit staff safe, while also not excluding people who really needed to use transit as their major form of transportation. And of course, that was a bill sponsored by RT. Yeah. But you know, if there are riders who are engaging in that kind of behavior. I think it's worth it to cite them. And I suspect that if they think they can get away with that they'll do other things that actually escalate and get worse. So I realize it may be procedurally cumbersome or even burdensome, but in the long run, it may be important and worth it to take on that burden and not have our staff putting up with that kind of behavior, and certainly not expected to absorb that kind of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great piece of legislation, as I remember. But
Were you the author, sir?
I was.
Just wanted that for the record.
Lisa,
Any
you
other
have-
questions?
Lisa,
Did you want to respond?
I just wanted to add to that. You know, Crystal and I have been working on this for a really long time, and so the restraining order was something that we pushed hard for. We worked together on, and we got it. And the banning, it's the right time. It's the right time. It's the right time that we dial back on the free passes to anybody and everybody. It's the right time that we hold people accountable. It is a very big lift to do this, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna be effective, and we're gonna be able to protect our operators and our passengers because of it.
Just want to, Director Dixon, I just wanted to provide a little bit historical information. About 8-9 years ago, when we start to enforce our system, I believe multiple board members still here, give us a very strong direction. In 2017 and 18, that 2 years, we issued lots of citations. One statistics I remember was the whole county's citation, the court citation. We account for more than half of the whole county citation. That actually helped us tremendously. And we also developed a paid fare zone policy. So anybody who was in our station, if they do not have a paid fare ticket or pass, whatever, we, ask them leave. That policy actually was very effective. Just want to add a little bit of historical information.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Any other questions or comments on the right? We'll open up to public comments.
Okay, we have Robert Copeland.
Okay, first I want to talk about public safety. If the passengers don't feel safe on a light rail train or a bus, they're not going to ride it. My choice, if you got a person that's sleeping and somebody having a hammer, you go after one with the hammer. You don't go after a sleeper. I'm sorry if that's happening. That's a black mark on RT. Also, let's just say a few other things. I think RT needs to be improved a lot. I know you don't have the money to do it. Thank you.
And, I'm sorry. Crystal McGeely.
Afternoon, Madam Chair. Ladies, gentlemen, board, public. I only have 2 minutes. Lisa said a lot. Today was the day that a transit ambassador, we found out the district attorney wasn't going to file charges against him today. Mm-hmm. So 2 homes were destroyed. I reached out and I sent a letter to some of the board members and, apologized that I didn't send it to every one of you. And what I said in the letter, basically, I wrote a whole bunch of stuff down and then I got up here and I thought about it. I've been here 23 years and the reason I'm still here safe is because I was able to navigate. The transit ambassadors, and we do have transit officers, and I don't know how many of the board know that there are transit officers as well. We just had one recently, not too long ago, retire. And I understand that we have $1 million, but I'm not privy to see how the breakdown is. Maybe you're privy to see how the breakdown is. And the modest, when I looked up modest, it said unassuming. That's the definition of modest. And so I have here this modest agreement, MOU, that I have to say to my transit ambassadors, it's a modest, but we want you to still work. We want you to still go out there. They're trying to improve. We have a program, so why not use it? I have a contract. The transit officers are in there. You say that we don't have the budget, and I get it. Maybe we don't have the budget, but you still have those transit ambassadors who are going to be out there tomorrow. This MOU doesn't start till next year. The modest doesn't start till next year, but the abuse is still today. I'm asking you, board, to think about the other stuff. We have transit officers in our contract right now. We can do it better. Thank you for letting me share. I'm not staff, so I don't have 10, 15 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others?
That's all the public comments.
All right, any follow-up questions or anything? All right, we will move on to our next item. This was just informational, so no board action needed. Public comments for agenda items not on the agenda.
Okay, Robert Copeland.
Okay, I have a question for RT. Do you have any people at RT staff that do customer service that speak other than Spanish or English? Because there are a lot of people in Sacramento County that speak Vietnamese, Hmong, Russian, Ukrainian, and various other languages. So how would they get a ride on, like say, a paratransit type system? If they can't speak the language and the driver don't speak the language. I'm kind of confused on that. Also, if you want to do a sales tax, you've got to get organizations that support, like Sacramento Transit Writers Union. I don't know if they're still around, or ACE. They had a public transit committee, but I don't see them. I don't know if they even still do it. Thank you. Also, my final comment, this is for the, not for RT board, but for the city councils and the county board supervisor. You want better RT bus system, you've got to provide more low-income housing development. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more?
Troy Wilkinson.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Thank you for letting me speak. I just wanted to sort of touch back on the customer service thing. I think it's really great how quickly these things are being addressed, in that they're, you guys are talking to us. I was the individual that commented on the streetcar, and it's fantastic. I mean, to be able to publicly comment and then a day later get deeper information about it, and quell some of the sort of issues I have with the project, but some still outstanding. But generally, just the fact that the next meeting you're following up on all of these public comments is fantastic, I think. And I don't know how many other, whether city council does this or not, but it seems pretty rare to have that. The only other thing, or two other things that I wanted to address, is one, talking about the transit ambassadors. I've witnessed two instances of, verbal and sort of not so great instances of them really having to force someone who is not wanting to be forced off of the train, and that kind of altercation. It's not maybe always, but it does happen, and I am curious, those statistics are so hard to pair up with our anecdotal experiences. Other than that, we recently, I'm speaking as a member of Strong Sacktown, and we have a transit group. That group went on a little excursion to Hazel Avenue, a little escape room trip to just kind of get people involved in transit. It was a fairly good experience. We had some hiccups, mainly with trying to change cars mid-trip to connect with another member. The doors shut. We tried to leave, change cars, and the doors wouldn't open again. So that was a sort of issue that we had. But thank you for your time, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
L.R. Roberts.
So I'm part of Dogfight and have been for a long time. So that's myself, Robert, Helen, who isn't here tonight, and Jeff. And I wanted to let you know that Jeff was crossing a crosswalk and got hit by a car, and the person didn't stop and drove off. First said, "Are you hurt?" And then after he said, "Yes, I am," she drove off. So he's in a nursing home right now. So that's one thing. And then the next thing is I was in Midtown and happened to park across the street from your engineering office, and there was a homeless person starting a fire in the doorway to get warm. And one thing I do is pass out hand warmers. So I went around the other side of the building to find a door to knock on the door and say, "Hey, you need to come put this out." And I knocked on 3 different doors. People saw me, and I'm big, as you can see. I pounded on the door and screamed, and people saw me and wouldn't come to the door to find out what I wanted. So finally, at the 3rd door I went to, somebody said, "Oh, yeah, we put the fire out." But if someone sees you pounding at the door and saying it's an emergency, come out and find out what they want. And then the last thing that we talk about a lot at Dogfight is you guys buy some equipment, and then we find out it's not wide enough for the wheelchairs involved, or the button isn't where someone in a wheelchair can press it. So we don't want to hear excuses about why you can't talk to us first. You know, I sure don't want to hear that one again.
Thank you. Next.
And Michael Bevins.
Hi, everybody. First off, can you guys see me? Sometimes I wear my work clothes and I kind of blend in, but today you can see me all right? Okay, I assume so. I appreciated the presentation for the last board meeting about the potential tax measure, that maybe you don't want to do it through the county, but maybe if you had a citizen organization, I would suggest that you might still consider the county-wide. What I'm thinking, I was a year ago at the county, still has the problem, I assume county board members are here, that they can't afford to pave county roads. And I was thinking, well, we need an RT tax. What if we combine the two? You can, maybe somebody would be interested in raising their taxes if they know their road that they're traveling on mostly is going to get fixed. And the priority would be those that have bus lanes would get the ones priority. And if there's a high traveled corridor that doesn't currently have a bus, Power Inn Road goes from Elk Grove to the Powerland Station, and there's lots of traffic, but no bus line. A little bit of bus line on 61, but no through one. That would be a place, if the transit thing passed, you could put a bus line there. It would serve a lot of people. And then also combining other things, tourism. What is the SAC RT's relationship with the tourism office? If you're a tourist, you come into Sacramento, you should be able to get on a light rail train or a bus that kind of just goes to the major tourist spots, kind of a loop route, just to get that tourist money. And also spines, new corridors that either bisect the county and or rim route, goes around. If you want to get from the regional transit, if you want to get from Folsom to Elk Grove, you really can't do it effectively. What if there was a short flight? Elk Grove, once an hour, just start small with a small bus from Elk Grove to Folsom, to Citrus Heights, to the airport, back down to downtown Sacramento. Time's up, thank you.
Thank you.
That's all the public comment.
All right, I want to thank everyone for your comments, and looking forward to updates on that at the next SAC-RT meeting. With that, we will go on to our next item, 6.1, information on a report regarding contract change order number 24 to the contract for construction of the Dos Rios Light Rail Station with DMZ Builders.
And there's no presentation on this item. The information is provided in the staff report, and Henry Ikwat-Ukwa is available if there's any questions.
All right, opening it up for questions from directors. Looking to the left, looking to the right. All right, seeing none. Public comment on this?
No public comment.
All right, thank you. Next item is our general manager's report.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Board, and the public. So I have a brief report. So you saw the picture, Director Anna Robert and our AVP of IT and myself attended CTA's annual conference in Long Beach last week, and we were busy. And the picture on the left side is the picture we were with our FTA regional administrator, Mr. Ray Tennis, and we had a quite productive conversation about everything, especially the streetcar project. And I briefed Congresswoman this morning, have a meeting with her, and she committed to help us, on, any hurdles we need to overcome. And then, Director Robert and I had visited our vendors, Yusuf and Hayden AI, and a whole bunch of other, partners. The next one, please. The keynote speaker for this meeting is our former Secretary of DOT, Pete Buttigieg. He did a great job, and I had the opportunity to talk to him for a couple minutes about, the grants, and his leadership. He probably gave us about $600 million in his term. And specifically last year, $77 million Lolo grant, the bus and bus facility. And we got a quite large amount. $77 million may not that big. The first, the biggest award is $99 million. That is for the New Jersey Transit, which is a statewide transit. Then the second largest grant is $78 million for LA Metro. LA Metro is 7 times larger than us. No, we got $77 million. That is a quite large amount. And I thanked him and appreciate his leadership. And then this year we got $36 million for the streetcar project again, and so okay. So then I participate a panel, talk about our innovations, and one is our Hidden AI, and we may not really promote this enough. In the top 5 busiest bus stops, since we implemented bus automated enforcement program early this year by using the Hidden AI, the reduction of incidents for those 5 bus stops is 89% reduction. And one station used to have, in the last year, before, it's about 2,000 incidents or the illegal parking in that particular bus stop. Right now, it's about 90% reduction. So it's a very good, program, the AI program. And now we just got the FAA permission to have an AI drones program to monitor our critical infrastructure. And we hope that will help us to further strengthen our safety program down the road. And know about like 200 to 300 people in that panel, which was a very good conversation with our peers. Next slide, please. We start our podcast, Next Stop Sacramento, for 2 sessions. Each month we get one. I did the first. Then we had one with the Downtown Partnership. And it's about 20 minutes, podcast, talking about lots of great things and our plan, our future, projects, whatever, and try to energize the community. For the sake of time, we're not going to play that, 20 minutes podcast. Next slide, please. Aftershock. Last month, we had a wonderful Aftershock music festival. And you see how many people there. We carried about 12,000 rides. The whole event with about over 170,000 people and bringing about $35 million economic, impact for the region, and it's a wonderful event. And we were able to work with the organizers to, pay us a little bit, cost to offset our cost, and virtually, charged a little bit on each ticket for our, service. It's a great progress. Next one, please. Well, November 1st and 2nd, we participated in the Autumn Lantern Festival in our Power In station. This is one of the largest Asian, cultural event in this region. 10,000 people attended that for 2 nights. We have some board members joined that. We did not take the pictures. So I don't know, how many board members attended. So I'm not going to name names. But I know, Patrick, Director Hume and Director Kennedy must have attended. And I don't know others. So the next one, please. For some 20 years celebration last month, and we were able to celebrate the Folsom Light Rail, service for 20 years, and appreciate Director Robert and Mayor Aquero attending the celebration, and it's a quite historical event. Yeah, next one. Talking about our light rail service, and we had start November 1st and to this Saturday, 15 days, we had temporary, service disruption on, for the Dose Rail station construction. The Dose Rail station construction is on time and on budget, and soon, we're going to resume the service on Sunday, November 16th, for the bus service, for the Blue Line service for that section. That being the next slide, please. And last month is our customer appreciation month, and we attended lots of activities, and we appreciate our customers, riding with us and try to help us and to bring this whole community together, and we really appreciate that. And besides, when we talked earlier, I talked about the CTA annual conference. In September, we had 2 board members attend our APTA annual conference in Boston. Director Helm and Director Schaefer attended that event. I heard, some great things and some great pictures. We did not get a chance to show in our board meeting. We need to get some pictures from you. Next, GM report, we can show, some great things for you guys. That being said, I think that concludes my report.
Thank you. My only question is, did Director Schaefer wear his cowboy hat? Did you wear your cowboy hat?
I did not.
Oh, coward.
He always wears it, that's why.
It's a little warm.
Yeah.
In the summertime. The weather was beautiful back then.
Lovely.
It's hard to travel with.
I imagine.
Wearing it all the time.
Formally opening it up for questions, that was just, lighthearted fun. Any questions? Yes, Director Hume.
Thank you, Chair. I was going to save this for questions from directors, but since you brought it up, I was at the CAPS Autumn Lantern Festival at the Power In Station. I thought it was a great activation of that space. It was very well attended from what I could see on the day that I was there. But while I was there, I happened to notice this very vacant, large parcel right next door. And then a couple days later, or a week or so later, happened to be driving down Power In, and I saw the parcel again, and I go, I got to look up and see who owns that, because that'd be a perfect spot for a TOD. Well, imagine my surprise when I pull it up on Parcel Viewer, and that's owned by RT. So I would like information, and it can be offline, of what our plans for that remainder parcel are, because obviously we have a very large station there, as it stands, so there's a lot of parcel that's being underutilized at this point,
And a lot of jobs in that area.
and a lot of jobs in that area.
Yes, for sure.
We surplused that property about 2 years ago. They tried to work with some developers to do that. Then for some reason there was some type of dispute, whatever, so we delayed on that. But our TOD team is going to quickly redo that. So yeah,
Great.
we will give you more
Brian, real estate
details.
For that, for
Brian.
sure.
Get in
Between
line
the-
behind Marconi and Swanstrom.
Between the jobs and the entertainment at
Yeah,
that location,
It's a great location.
it should be a good magnet.
Yeah. Any other questions from directors on this? Public comment?
No public comment.
I think
I want to add
oh,
a few,
I'm sorry,
no
go
questions though. A few things that I kind of picked up from the CTA conference. First of all, walking around with Henry is almost like walking around with a rock star there, and that's how people around the leaders around the region see SAC-RT. So it was really good to get that that perspective of really how important we are to the region as a leader. One of the things that Pete Buttigieg said, and he did do a great job, he was the opening speaker, is that our leadership is to balance and weigh decisions on safety and affordability, that was really important. To communicate on the wins and how it helps our businesses, suppliers, workforce, and community. A couple of things Lisa Hines said and Deborah Salinas also, did I get it right? Said too. Basically was reiterated throughout the conference that this legislation, this administration really is about safety, enhancing safety, accelerate project delivery and permitting reforms, increasing opportunity for economic growth, and to streamline public transit statutory and regulation requirements. And then it always went back to telling your story. So what can we do as board of directors and our staff? Something we're already doing, be on a first name basis with our DC transportation people, but message how our projects meet the goals of those in decision-making power. So really have that end in mind, and safety is at the top of that list. And Lisa, you said it's the right time, and everything that I heard at the conference is you're exactly right. It is the right time to make sure that we are hitting that and even doing better than we already are. Cleanliness was as important as a revenue driver. So one of the things about telling the story was tell the story by showing human impact behind the numbers. And I think that's in any marketing, as we know as politicians, as important in our campaigns as well. But there's more to consider in telling the story. Students are getting licenses later and later and should always be a priority, which I think we do a good job at as well. People are using transit for more recreational use now more than ever. So that's a particular aspect. I know that Henry, we talked to Ray, and he talked about how important the Olympics were going to be coming up. The World Cup first in LA as a precursor to what they could do better for the World Cup and the Paralympics, and we'll be participating in that as well. Everyone is an expert in transportation. That was one of my favorite things that I heard. And if you're delivering something people understand, it makes sense to people. So transit, this is something Pete said as well, transit connects us to the offline, which is a great way to build community. So the good news is, I'll leave it to the good news, is the Federal Transit Administration there's no furloughs, and the grant reimbursements are still being funded. So, and I'll keep it at the good news. But there was a little nervousness at the beginning of the conference, but I felt at the end there was a lot of hope and positivity in how to move forward and articulation of that. So it was a really good, well-rounded event. And it was, once again, walking around with Henry was one of the most fun things. So thank you, Henry.
Thank you for sharing that. Great feedback from the conference. Any questions, comments?
We do.
And you said there was no public comment, correct?
No public comment.
All right, we will then move on to, let's see, item 8.1, Sacramento-Placerville Transportation Corridor Joint Powers Authority meeting summary. Director Budges, you want to offer?
No, you have my report. Director Rosario was there, and ask her if she has any additions or comments. Okay.
Excellent, thank you. And finally, any questions, comments on? Yes, go ahead.
Just want to do a quick reminder that for tomorrow, if you are active duty or if you're a veteran, there are free rides on SAC-RT light rail and buses. So that's a friendly, helpful reminder. And for some of us that are on social media, once we see that post, please share it far and wide so folks are firmly aware of that is available tomorrow.
Thank you for that reminder. Yes, Director Rodriguez.
I just want to say that I appreciate being here today. I'm a big fan of RT, and I also appreciate that you have the recognition and awards and those who have retired. I think it's really special when you give 38 years, which was the longest year there, and you retire with a thank you and recognition. So great job with that. That's it.
Thank you. And my final comment would be, I would invite Deborah and the team. You've got a very active user here in Rosario Rodriguez with light rail coming in from Folsom. So those human testimonies and that power of that, she would be a great voice for that. So just putting that out there.
Yes, we already reached out, and so you spoke with Jessica, so we're going to use her as the testimonial.
Oh yeah, so when I hear some of the presentations, and I actually watch I watched your meetings when I'm at home, and some of the comments that come up about the issues on RT, I think those are probably fewer, and you share some of the stats. Those are fewer and far between because a lot of more positive things do happen, and that was one of the things I shared earlier. Is that it is very pleasant to ride RT. To me, I get that free hour of study time, and so it's I enjoy RT.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We will go ahead and formally adjourn the meeting. Have a good evening.